Hello, hi. My name is Sharon, and I perform under the name Counterfeit Madison. I'm a musician, songwriter, arranger, composer, and I like to eat a lot of food. I am coming to you from my bedroom, where probably a lot of us has been spending a lot of times in our bedrooms due to this craziness that is going on outside. Listen, I hope that where you are safe and hydrated and able to get in touch with people you love because that's all we can do right now. And stay inside if you can. I don't mean to turn this into a COVID-19 PSA, but stay safe, stay hydrated. So I was originally going to do a songwriting workshop, but since those aren't like happening now because we can't really be around each other, I'm going to do a little video workshopy, breaky downy little thing about a song I wrote called "Don't Cry Wolf." Um, I wrote it a few years ago, and yeah, I'm just gonna just start out by playing it for you. Like, why not? Like whatever, just like play it. Now let me make sure you see my hands. Can you see my? You can see my hands. Oh, then my face is cut off. Who cares? You know what I look like. Look at my hands. Okay, are you ready? Of course you're ready. You're watching this video. What am I talking about? 2, 3. I like how I counted myself off as if I have a band. What am I doing? Oh, don't gotta be the canary in my coal mine. Rather you be the dove for my flood, my flood. There are other Stevens for the chosen. Don't be so masochistic, child. We won't believe you if you keep crying wolf, and when it goes, I'll take it on, and so will you. I know it. I don't need another father. My skin, it isn't made of plastic, my son. No need for sirens, I saw the smoke, silence a trumpet, the wind is come and gone, everybody sees we aren't so necessary, so you don't gotta be my canary, I wish you'd be my dove. We won't believe you if you keep crying. I'm not scared. I don't need another father. My skin isn't made of plastic, my son. But if there's a hole in your bucket, I've got another one in the shed. Forget about the stones and straw and axes and all. If there's a hole in your bucket, I've got another one in the shed. Forget about the stones and straw and axes and all. 2, 3, yeah! Yeah! Hey! scared. I have not ever written a proper ending to that song, so it just stops when it stops. Presenting to you, Don't Cry Wolf. I'm going to raise this back up again. Cool. So, there's my crazy song called Don't Cry Wolf. So I'm going to give you a few tips on songwriting. Obviously, I can't go into like how like everything because I would be here for hours. And I'm just trying to give you a little think. Okay, so the first thing I'd like to say is that I want to turn this off so I can lean on it. Is that bad? I'm just gonna lean on this. Yikes, it's probably bad. I won't do that. Okay. The first thing I would like to say is to take inspiration from anywhere. I love the time that we live in, that there is just so much art. There's so much music. There's so many books, so many movies, so much writing, so much so much media. And I love it because you can take it all in and get inspiration from anywhere. I wrote that song. So the first line is, "Don't want to be the canary in my coal mine. Rather you be a dove for my flood." I can't speak it. I can only sing it. Okay. So what happened was, where was I? I was listening to this podcast, a newscast about something. I don't even remember what it was about. Don't ask me. I don't remember. But a newscaster said something about being a canary in a coal mine. And I was just like, what is that? Okay, let me tell you what it is. It is when that comes from miners want to know. It's kind of morbid. Yikes. Miners would want to know if a place where they wanted to mine was safe. So they would send a canary in, and if the canary came out alive, they would know that it was okay. And if the canary didn't come out alive, then they would know that it was unsafe to be in because they probably wouldn't be able to breathe. And so I was like, what an interesting concept. So I kind of took that and ran with it. And so take inspiration from wherever. I just heard that statement. I was just like, that's a cool statement. I want to use that. Then the second thing I want to talk about is, if you can, write about your own personal experiences. So I wrote this song called Don't Cry Wolf. It's a song to my friends because a few summers ago, I had just moved. So I moved to Columbus in 2009. And around 2011, I started making art with my friends. I'd started going to a coffee shop and was a regular there. And I was making art with my friends. But we were getting we were beginning to build these communities, and they were so magical, and we knew the potential for what these communities could be. But as you may have experienced, building community is really, really hard. It's not easy. So we were trying to write these songs, trying to make these shows, trying to make these bands, trying to really find ourselves in our music and our art. And it was really, really difficult. And we were being really hard on ourselves. We were staying up late, writing, having meetings. We was official. You know what I'm saying? So we were really trying to make a community that meant something to us individually and to all of us. And I noticed us we were just being a little too hard on ourselves. And I noticed us like really being like kind of like wanting to like die for the cause of our art. And I was just like, okay. Like I understand that this is serious, but we really need to take a step back and understand that we're people who can love and have fun. We're having fun here. We're figuring ourselves out. It doesn't need to be this like we're young also. Like we were in our like mid 20s. Like we were young. So it's like we didn't have to have all the answers. We were like being like, this is who I'm going to be for the rest of my life. It was just really like, and I was like, yo, let's chill. And we were like, I mean, I remember someone saying like, if I don't find out who I am really soon, I'm going to die. Someone said that. And I was just like, okay, let's come back. Let's step back. And I wrote this song to us to kind of remind us that, like, it's not, first of all, it's not as bad. It's not as bad as you think it is. We really we're going to find who we are. We're young. This pain, this growing pain that we're feeling is temporary. And it's kind of an encouragement to us. So, and that's why I took the canary in a coal mine um, uh, line and just ran, because I felt like sometimes we were like doing that to ourselves. We were like kind of putting ourselves in a place where we were suffocating ourselves so we couldn't even breathe, like it was just interesting to watch ourselves just be like um so serious and so like fatal and final about everything. And I was like, no, we don't have to like go into this coal mine and die just to let everybody else know that they're like what the state of affairs is. Like we can just live. So so I wrote, so this song was really personal. So I took something I heard on a podcast or a newscast. I don't even remember. I just know it was not there. It wasn't a song. I took what I heard in this podcast. Oh, excuse me. Then I wrote a song about me and my friends and my community. And then the third thing that I want to say is that you draw from what you know, and feel free. It's kind of the same as one. Um, take inspiration from anywhere, but like the song was strictly inspired by um, that line. I'm actually lying. I'm not. Number three is not going to be come come from what you know. Number three is going to be, if you have a melody in your head, use it. That is the universe being like, blat out. There's a melody. And so I had this melody. Don't gotta be the canary in my coal mine. Stuck in my head. No. Oh, I turned my keyboard off. Rude. Um, don't gotta be the canary in my coal mine. And so I like, uh, don't gotta be the canary in my coal mine. And I just kept on like singing that line over and over and over again. And I was just like, excuse me. Ooh, I coughed. I should wash my hands later. um, uh, and in fact, I'm gonna go get some hand sanitizer right now. I'm gonna practice this safety right now, y'all. Practice safety. I don't want to go all the way to the bathroom and make y'all wait on this video. So I'm gonna get some hand sanitizer right now and do that work in the camera. Got me a little Purell. What's up? Okay. So, where were we? That melody did not leave my head. And so the reason why I don't really want to talk about music on this is because we all do different things musically. Some of you play guitar. Some of you play piano. Some of you don't play an instrument at all. That's fine. That doesn't mean you can't write songs. Like, listen, did anyone ever see Whitney Houston sing the Star Spangled Banner? She didn't need no music. Listen, so I'm just going to go lightly into how I just like kept on singing that line and like kind of tried to make more melody lines that responded to that melody line. So like um so don't want to be the canary in my coal mine. Don't gotta be the canary in my coal mine. Then da 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 da. So that line is kind of a response to the previous melodic line. Do you see what I mean? That may be a little confusing, but I don't want to go too much into music. Like I said, I just want to say use a melody line if you have one. If you're like, and like it's all about the melody. It's just like um um I think when I think of like really cool melody lines, um, that don't even have words in them, like SZA's oh, long as we got no, 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 long as we got no, long as we got like that was mostly O's. But like I love that melody line. That run that she did. No. Like and how many times have you sung along with a song and not know the words, but you know exactly how the melody line is because it's so dang catchy? So if you have a melody line, don't excuse me, don't keep it with you. And then the fourth thing and the last thing I'm going to talk about is draw from what you know. So here I was with this canary thing, and I thought about canaries going to coal mines, and and I'm a religious person, so know, uh, I um, I know Bible stories. Like Noah's Ark. And at at the end of that Bible story, Noah sends out a dove to see if it's kind of the opposite of the canary. So, no, I don't. If some of you may not be religious, so you don't know this story, let me tell it to you real quick. At the end of Noah's when God flooded the earth or whatever story, um, uh, Noah sends out a dove, and the dove came back twice. So when the dove came back, that's how Noah knew that the ground was still wet and they couldn't leave the ark because the dove didn't have a place to land. Then Noah sent out a dove the third time, and the dove never came back. And that's how Noah knew the land was safe and dry. So it's kind of the opposite of the canary in the coal mine. So I decided to join those two together. So don't gonna be the canary in my coal mine. Rather you be the dove for my flood. So with this melody line, I contrasted, and then with the words, I also contrasted. Contrast. Sharon, can you speak English? Anyway, this is why I sing. I don't talk. I just sing. um, I contrasted the melody and used a Bible story to contrast the canary from the dove. And then I have a few more biblical references in there. I mentioned Stephen, who was a martyr, and like I said, in our friend group, we were just really like being too hard on ourselves and like being like, oh no, we need to die in order to figure out what we're on earth for, and so I was just like, no, it doesn't need to be that serious. You don't need to be a martyr like Stephen in the Bible. You don't need to do all that mess. And then don't be so masochistic, child, is the next line. And then I also used some children's stories. The song is called Don't Cry Wolf. And I use some animal imagery in there, whatever, like, doves and canaries and wolves or whatever. But I used, um, we won't believe you if you keep crying wolf. So, of course, the boy who cries wolf is the he's like, hey, there's a wolf. There's no wolf. Hey, there's a wolf. There's no wolf. And I was just kind of hammering in this point, like, hey, it's not as serious. Like, don't cry for danger if there is none. Like, we're really just building a community here. It's not that serious. It's not that deep. It's not that, well, it's deep, but it's not like that deep. You know what I mean? So, I use a Don't Cry Wolf reference, or I use a Boy Who Cried Wolf reference. Later on in the bridge, I use a, if there's a hole in your bucket, I've got another one in the shed. Which is like a riff on what is it? There's a hole in the bucket, in the bucket, dear Liza, dear Liza. There's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza, a hole. And then she's like, oh, what am I gonna do to plug in this hole? Use an axe, or like, all. What does she say? She says something about an axe. What did I say? Forget about the stones and straw and axes and all. So like in my song, that's what I say. So what I'm saying is like, look, if you have a hole in your bucket, you don't need to be like, oh no, there's a hole in it. No, I just got another one. We're a community. Like, it doesn't need to be so, like I said, doesn't need to be so serious. Like, we're all in this together. If you can't find who you are, I'm here with you. Hold your hand. We're going to write this music together. We're going to put on these shows together. We're going to find our meaning as a community and together. So like, yo, like, no need to freak out if you got a hole in your bucket. Like, I'm just going to, I've got another one in the shed. And so hopefully those are a few tips. What were the 4 tips? Take inspiration from anywhere. I love to take in a lot of technology and be inspired by anything. I'm inspired by all sorts of things. I'm inspired by dance. I'm inspired by punk music. I'm inspired by church music. Like I said, I play in a church every single Sunday. I'm inspired by Buddhist monks. I'm inspired by football players. I'm inspired by food. I'm inspired by so much. So take inspiration from anywhere. And what's number 2? Yeah, make it personal. Write about you and about your friends and about your situation, about your life, about your mom, about some pain, about some joy, about regret, jealousy. And then number 3 is, if you have a melody, don't let it leave you. Keep it like it. Now we have phones where you can just be like, how many times have I been in the car getting ready to go to the grocery store and been like, I have a melody. And I'm like, and the melody goes like this. Like that. I've done that so many times in my car. I know I've looked like a weirdo in my car, just like being like, don't care, because I have a banging melody later. And then 4, use what you know. Use a nursery rhyme. Use a Bible verse. Use whatever. And it's kind of like number 1, so it kind of brought it back full circle. Anyway, I've been talking for almost 25 minutes, and I don't want to make you watch any more of me, because I want you to enjoy the time that you have inside, resetting and drinking water and staying safe and using hand sanitizer and washing your hands. And this is not a PSA. I just want to sign off. So if you have any questions, I'm just going to give you my email address. My email address is I don't do drugs. I am drugs at counterfeitmadison.com. It's a lot, but it's literally that. All lowercase, no space. I don't do drugs. I am drugs at counterfeit, COUNTERFEIT, Madison, MADISON.com. Or if you don't remember that, just like ask Miss Custer Edwards. I don't know what y'all call her, Dion, Miss Custer Edwards. And we can link up. I'm also on Instagram, Counterfeit Madison. I'm an Instagrammer. I'm on Facebook too, but I don't need I don't why. Like I'm an Instagrammer. And see you guys later. Have a great day. If you can get outside, it is so you can see like the rays of the Lord God the Sun are shining down on me, and so breathe in some air. Stay healthy, stay hydrated. Bye.